71 layers of alternating VG10 and VG2 stainless steel Damascus. That's what you get with the Dual Core series by Shun. Now, you may have heard of the Dual Core series because it used to be just a single series. But at Cutlery and More, we created 2 exclusive series with Shun, which got a little bit different of a name. So we go from the original Dual Core to the Nagare and the Shiranami. And in this video, I'm going to break down the similarities and the differences between these 3 different Dual Core series so you can then decide which you're going to add to your collection next. Let's get started with the blades because they're by far the most important aspect of these knives and the coolest thing about them as well. As I said, the blades are constructed with alternating layers of VG2 and VG10 stainless steel Damascus. And how they are forged is basically going to determine the pattern that you'll see for each of the various series. So you have the original Dual Core that has a more herringbone type of pattern. The Nagare, which translates to flow, has this almost sunburst type of pattern that extends from the spine right at the curvature before the tip and then flares out from there. And then the Shiranami has a combination of that herringbone from the original Dual Core series, and then Shiranami, meaning white-capped waves, is essentially what the spine half of the blade looks like with waves coming in and crashing at the beach. So you could say that the Damascus pattern of the Shiranami essentially named itself. Now, the original Dual Core does not have a traditional Gyoto or chef's knife. Instead, it has a Kiritsuke. Now, whether you want to say K-tip Kiritsuke, Kiritsuke, or however you like to pronounce it, as long as you understand it's a K-tip. You could also get away with calling this a K-tip Gyoto. And the reason why is traditionally a Kiritsuke is a single bevel knife. All of these are double bevel, but nowadays most knives that are just called a Kiritsuke are mainly double bevel here in the States as well as in Japan. Now, the other 2 knives, the Nagare and the Shiranami, they have a very traditional chef's knife type of shape to it, but compared to the other lines of Shun, these have a little bit more of a curvature and a downward angle at the tip of the blade that has a Gyoto-like feel to it. Now let's dive into the bolsters and the handles of each series. The bolster of the Dual Core is octagonal, which then flares into the octagonal ebony packawood handle. The packawood material is an engineered material that is incredibly durable. It's not going to warp with fluctuations with humidity. With that being said, don't let these soak in the sink. Don't put them in the dishwasher and dry them immediately after use. The balance of the Dual Core just into the tang, into the blade, pretty much right at the choil, is perfectly balanced. With the bolster and the weight that is in the handle, that's what provides this with that really nice 50-50 balance compared to Japanese knives that are more traditionally blade heavy or German knives that are more handle heavy. The bolster of the Nagare as well as the Shiranami have a bit of an angle to them. So at the pinch grip, the way your pointer finger angles back towards you, it just fits perfectly. It's a very, very comfortable pinch grip position that allows you to snug up against the bolster. So if you're coming from using more Western style knives where sometimes you have to pinch up quite a bit higher on the blade to get a comfortable pinch grip, this is going to feel even more comfortable closer to the bolster, down on the handle, or you can pinch up whatever you may be used to. The packawood handle of the Nagare has a gray and black wood tone to it. It is double riveted, full tang with a stainless steel end cap. And finally, the Shiranami, as I mentioned, the bolster is angled. It's even a little bit more so angled than the Nagare. The handle has a white inlay going into a micarta handle. Micarta is a very similar engineered material to Packawood, super durable. What's really great about this is it has this burlap, deep ocean greenish blue turquoise type color that is very unique for knives as a whole, especially across the entire series of Shun knives. There is also an angled stainless steel end cap that has the kanji, and there is metal throughout the handle, so the tang extends down. And with that, you're getting, unlike all of the other Shun knives, a more handle heavy type of balance, even right on the bolster itself. So if you're coming from using Western German knives and you like that more handle heavy type of feel, then the Shiranami of all the Shun series would definitely be what I would recommend. So there you have it, folks. The original dual core and the 2 dual core exclusives we have at cutleryandmore.com, the Nagare and the Shiranami. Now, all you have to do is decide which dual core you're going to add to your collection next. I'm Chef Brandon with Cutlery and More. Thanks for tuning in.